So this time of year is always a bit of a dull period for NFL fans in general. There's not much news. So one of the things that all NFL pundits do is go through different teams' schedules and sort of project what the win totals are likely to look like. So as a Jaguars fan, Jaguars blogger, I wanted to do that. And what I found really quickly, and actually somewhat surprisingly, the Jaguars' schedule projects, at least to me, really, really good. And there's a lot of reasons for that. The Jaguars are coming off of a playoff season. They're looking like a really strong team, especially offensively, if they can continue to take a step forward. So today I wanted to take a look at their schedule and kind of walk you through where I think the Jaguars are. Some of these are take a little bit more time to explain than others. So the first 4 games of the Jaguars season, they start off with the Indianapolis Colts at Indianapolis. To me, this looks like a simple case of just winning the game. The Jaguars are in year 2 of a system. The Colts are with a brand new head coach, likely going to be rolling out a brand new quarterback that has never played with the Indianapolis Colts. To me, it's a no-brainer. The Jaguars should win, no problem. Week 2, I project as a loss at home against the Kansas City Chiefs, though I will leave the door open. There is absolutely the opportunity for a win here, but the Jaguars, I would be happy if they could just play with the Chiefs and have a very close game with the Chiefs. I think that would bode well in general. I think that would look good for the Jaguars. The Texans at home should be an easy win. The Texans aren't a very talented roster. They're a brand new head coach there. Brand new quarterback, should be an easy win. And rounding out the first fourth of the season or so is with the Falcons. That's a home game in the United Kingdom. Should be a win. Again, better team the Jaguars are than the Falcons. Shouldn't be a problem. Transitioning to the sort of meat and potatoes section of the schedule, the Buffalo Bills are going to the United Kingdom. Now, technically, this is listed as an away game, but for all intents and purposes, to me at least, this looks like another UK home game to the Jaguars. Again, I actually like the Jaguars in this one. This is one of those games where I think it could be very close. I think the Jaguars have the travel advantage, having done this so many times before. I like the Jaguars over the Buffalo Bills. I think the Jaguars are a more complete team right now than the Buffalo Bills, and I really like the Jaguars' weapons compared to the Bills' weapons. Offensively, I think the Jaguars win this one, but likely a shootout style of a game. The Colts are heading down to Jacksonville next. That's a win for the Jaguars. Same reasoning as before. The Saints game, that's an away game in New Orleans. Again, I really feel like this is one of those games the Jaguars should win. If they're going to be one of the elite teams in the AFC, they need to win these should-win games. The Saints game here should be a should-win. The Jaguars shouldn't have any major problems. The Steelers game is an away game in Pittsburgh. This one is very interesting. You have the bye week right after that, where maybe some players are looking forward to that bye week and may sort of take their eye off the prize here. And the Steelers could be a really interesting team depending on their quarterback play. Still, once again, the Jaguars are ahead of the Steelers when it comes to offensive weaponry. I think the Jaguars should win this game in Pittsburgh as well. That enters then the Jaguars into the bye week before they go home for the 49ers. Now, the 49ers, another super intriguing team. I think this will be a loss. I think the 49ers are a complete team with maybe a question mark at quarterback. I'm not necessarily sold on a second-year quarterback from deep in the draft with Mr. Irrelevant being their quarterback they're rolling out, at least presumably so. So I'm not sold on the 49ers quarterback play, but they are a complete team. They should be a very good roster. I think the 49ers win there. Then the Jaguars host the Tennessee Titans. The Titans, to me, are a roster that's fading right now. Their window seems pretty closed at this point as far as a Super Bowl run. I think the Jaguars are going to run this division, basically run every team in the division. The Jaguars are going to be just the leader in the AFC South. That's a win for the Jaguars. Same thing with the Texans then, and this is an away game, but the Texans still going to probably struggle a lot with a not so talented roster. That's a win for the Jaguars. Then at home against the Bengals. This is going to be a really good test later in the season because the Bengals are a Super Bowl caliber team. The Jaguars want to be a Super Bowl caliber team. I think this game is going to be a fantastic way to sort of measure where the Jaguars are compared to the rest of the field. I think the Bengals likely win this game. However, just like the earlier season Chiefs game, I would love to see the Jaguars keep this one very, very close. And if they do, I think that bodes really well moving forward. The Browns game then is an away game in Cleveland. I'm not buying Deshaun Watson as an elite quarterback anymore in the NFL. I think that's a win for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Ravens game, that's a home game. Again, I am still not buying Lamar Jackson as an elite quarterback in the NFL. I think that he just struggles to be consistent. And frankly, I think a third-year Trevor Lawrence with Doug Peterson, I like that better than I like John Harbaugh with Lamar Jackson. So we're going to go with the Jaguars in that game, though admittedly could be a very, very close game, just like it was last season. Then the Buccaneers, this is an away game, should be a very easy win, one of the easier wins on the schedule. The Buccaneers should be not very good at all. The Panthers, home game, should be a win there. Again, the Panthers are rebuilding. The Panthers might be a little bit better than I think we give them credit for, even with a rookie quarterback, but that should be a win for the Jaguars nonetheless. And the Titans game, actually one of the harder games to call because there's a very real chance the Jaguars are locked into a specific seeding heading into the last week of the season for the playoffs. So if the Jaguars are playing their starters, I would project an easy win. However, if they're not playing their starters, then it could be a win for the Tennessee Titans. With all that said, the projected record that I came up with was 14-3, which was somewhat surprising to me because 14-3 could be good enough to be the top seed in the AFC. However, losing the tiebreakers to the Chiefs and the Bengals might sort of keep the Jaguars out of that top seed, but it could be very interesting to see with a softer schedule for the Jaguars than the Chiefs or the Bengals or the Bills. The Jaguars could legitimately look at stealing that top seed, even if they're not necessarily the best team in the conference. Now, obviously, this is a bit of a biased take because I'm a Jaguars fan, so I'm likely to lean towards favoring the Jaguars. I do want to hear from all of you out there. What do you think the Jaguars are going to come up with as their final tally for the season? Where did I get it wrong? Where do you think I got it right? Let me know in those comments down below. Otherwise, you can follow me both here on YouTube as well as following the blog, jaguars.win. And with all of that, YouTube's likely going to queue up a few more videos from the channel for you to watch. And I will see all of you in the next video.